Pioneer League Sports Center coming up now.
Turn up, turn up.
We set the tone,
Yeah.
team deeper than the baritone. Like we split the group up, how we
Down in the end zone, you already know. But we don't celebrate cause we've been there before. Now ask Patterson if you could get up on the show. Sports Center PFL got a message for the bros. If you an all-star, let's get it on the road. But you ain't on the team if your grade's too low. Still on the rise.
no reflection. One team, one goal, one dream. We taking it to another level. Team hitting harder than heavy metal. Came here for respect, ain't gon' never settle. Pioneer League, there ain't nothing better. Light it up, 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 light it up.
So we are making transitions from Pioneer football to everything Pioneer sports with the Pioneer League. If you're on our Facebook page, it has switched over. We've gone from the Facebook profile to the Facebook page. It is the Pioneer League. Again, we left the football out because, again, we are more than just football, and we're starting to branch out into other sports and such, so we have a lot of exciting things going on. You see in the background here, the man cave has been moved around a little bit and is profiling two distinct entities here. The green and the gold is the West Windsor Plainsboro Pirates. That is my alma mater where I graduated high school. As we are getting into the spring, congratulations to all of our 8th graders who got into the high schools of their choice or what have you. Great job to those guys working hard. We have state tests this week, so make sure you finish up strong. So my alma mater, West Windsor Plainsboro High School, has a minor league team that operates out of the same facility called the New Jersey Pirates. Same colors, and one of our distinguished alumni, Mr. Malave, has taken the reins over there and is operating that program, and it will be the first opponent for the New York Patriots for this upcoming season. June 10th at West Windsor Plainsboro High School. Now it's called South. When I went there, it was just West Windsor Plainsboro. Class of 98, by the way. So we are really excited. There is an event on April 9th down in the Princeton area at the Hooters restaurant right off of Route 1. We're going to take some Patriots players down there, get some footage and some media coverage, meet and greet type of thing. And it's just about, for the New York Patriots, that is, being ambassadors for the game of football. So going down there, checking that out. And then, as you know, later on, there's a lot of exciting things on the way to their 7-game schedule, which includes the trip to Canada. Speaking of Canada, that trip is booking up really quickly, so please make sure you get your spots. There's only a few spots left. We're just kind of finishing up things, what have you. So practice is this morning. A little bit of rain out there, but we're going to tough through it because that's what football players do. So what else is going in the Pioneer League? We have Kennedy High School. We're out there for practice. It's kind of like the Pioneer graduate program. We have a ton of kids over there. In fact, Coach Thierry said that it's easier to count the amount of kids that didn't play Pioneer football than the kids on his team that did. It's a majority of his team, and we're glad to support his program. Awesome job. We have an interview with Coach Thierry that we're going to bring to you right now. David Patterson here. We are here, if you haven't noticed in the background, at Kennedy campus, here with Coach Thierry. Thank you for joining us today. Have a bunch of questions for you, trying to figure out what's going on for Kennedy's 2017 campaign. First thing is off-season. Well, in Kennedy land, we don't know. We know that it's not off-season really ever. It's always preseason.
Yeah.
What's going on now with you guys in terms of preparation?
Well, I mean, I really have a lot of confidence in our strength and conditioning team here in Kennedy. Like you said, the off season, there is no off season. It's like as if the season never ends. So, we have Coach Grippo, Coach Nelson, Coach Davis, all there in the weight room, planning our strength and conditioning program. doing a lot of dynamic lifts, Olympic-style lifts, really working on becoming more explosive, doing speed training, conditioning training, the whole combination of everything to try to, enhance our performance and really compete, get the most out of our athletes as much as we could.
Now, a lot of our PFL alumni are now on Kennedy's team and in Kennedy schools. Can you just give us kind of a brief rundown of the schools here at Kennedy campus?
Yeah, the schools that we have here at the campus, we have Marble Hill, Bronx Theater, Bronx Law and Finance, Humanities, AMS, so the 2 charter schools, Bronx Engineering and Technology Academy, and Ellis Preparatory School.
Nice.
So several different schools and lots of choices here at the campus.
Beautiful. And for incoming, let's say, freshmen coming in, what would be, let's say the top 3 things that I need to know in order to get myself ready to play Kennedy football and join the tradition?
Well, I mean, honestly, first of all, academics are number one. We really stress as far as, your performance in the classroom, the way that you conduct yourself in the classroom is going to be a reflection of who you are on the field. If you're committed to your schoolwork, if you conduct yourself like an adult in the classroom, handle your responsibilities in the classroom, then you're going to show the dedication and the work ethic necessary to be successful here in this program. Obviously we pride ourselves in our tradition and the fact that we have 5 city championships under our belt. We are actually the only team in the Bronx to have ever won a championship. So, when you come here, you're part of that mystique. We talk about, the Miami universities, these schools, the Alabamas in college, that have this prestige and tradition that you don't alter, that you don't change, that you have to ultimately respect. And, our incoming freshmen that come here, they understand right from the jump what the precedence is and what, the tradition that they're following and the footsteps that they're going to follow in, and what the expectation ultimately is.
Awesome.
Across the board. Yeah.
Indeed. Last year, what were some of your challenges that you learned from that you are looking forward to moving on and getting better this upcoming season?
That's a great question. I mean, last year obviously was my first year as a head coach. It was definitely a learning experience. We learned a lot as the season went on. Kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start, and then you saw as the season progressed, we really got comfortable and hit our stride. I think there was a lot to be learned as far as just the week-to-week grind and preparation. To be honest with you, we've been at this for a very long time. This was my 13th year as a coach, as a high school football coach. So I've already, I learned a lot, obviously working under Landsberg, as far as how to run a program, how to, manage the day-to-day and the grind throughout the course of the season. So really it was just the ups and downs, more of the off-season leading up to the actual season with, making sure that we have our field available, a lot of the kind of miscellaneous things that you don't necessarily account for. They go beyond the X's and O's that you have to be responsible for and make sure that, are being executed so that the program as a whole runs smoothly. That to me was the biggest learning curve for the season.
Now, we know that all the Bronx teams are kind of stepping up their game. They have flashy uniforms, a bunch of different things going on. What sets Kennedy still apart from those other programs in terms of, what my favorite is? I'm a big fan of Friday Night Lights. That's like my big thing. Yeah. Talk a little bit about that and how that gives you an advantage when it comes to your home field and just the mantra that is Kennedy.
Well, I always say, I think we have one of the most beautiful facilities, not only in the borough, not only in the Bronx, but in the entire city. We are one of the few fields that have lights, that do play on Friday nights. It's obviously, that's what high school football is all about, Friday Night Lights, being in the spotlight. Playing in front of large crowds, definitely an amenity, and then the fact that it's a strategic advantage for us, the fact that, if you look at our schedule, having teams from Staten Island, having teams from Brooklyn have to come in and play us on a Friday night, trekking across the city and having to endure that and then suit up and play us, is a huge advantage for us. The field itself is beautiful. You look at the way the end zone's painted, the center logo, it looks a lot like a collegiate stadium, and we're very, very proud of our facilities here.
Awesome. Now let's get to the X's and O's end of that. What unit was your let's say, your hallmark unit, the one that really identified the identity of Kennedy football last year? And is it the same unit this year?
Well, it's interesting you say that. I mean, I think we tried to get back to the roots of what Kennedy football is about, as far as playing more of a smash mouth brand of football. The Bronx was always known as being, kind of, one of the toughest boroughs, and really setting the tone with offense and defense in the way that they played. Defensively, we were really an attack defense, very aggressive, kind of went back to that 50 scheme, that identity of the old Kennedy teams. Offensively, we got back under center. It became a pretty significant part of our offense. But this year I think we have a little bit of a different dynamic with Chisholm and PJ graduating and moving on. We have our identity this year is probably going to be a little bit more of going back to the spread look. Utilizing our speed out on the perimeter and trying to create mismatches on offense. And defensively, I don't think the identity is going to change much. I think that's going to be our mainstay moving forward.
And out of the PFL alumni, what are some of the guys that really stood out? Like, hey, this is a league that I could really take advantage of our dynamic relationship with. I mean, you were our all-star coach a couple of years ago.
I was, and it was one of the most fun I've ever had coaching. It was good to work with the young guys again. Our entire team is made up of PFL guys. I mean, I don't think it'd be easier to name the guys who aren't PFL alumni than to name the guys who are. And that's the truth. I mean, the heart and soul of our team are PFL alumni, and we're very proud of that. We're very, very proud of our affiliation with the PFL. And, it's good to see that these boys come in, they're well coached. They have a passion for the game that started with their experience with the PFL. And, it makes our jobs a lot easier that we have kids that are so dedicated, so passionate about the sport. And you could see that was evident when you walked through the weight room and you saw how hard our boys are working. They love the game, they respect the game, and again, they came in knowledgeably. So they're the heart and soul of our team, and then I think that's the way it's going to remain moving on in the future. I can't see it being any other way.
My last question: if you, in your trek to the city championship this year, you need one thing, just one thing that you can guarantee goes right for you this year, what aspect of the game of football do you want to have guaranteed to go right for you this year?
I want to be able to block and tackle. It's really that simple. As much as we complicate the game with scheme, and believe me when I tell you, people will tell you I'm always drawing up something. I'm always, in the lab, mad scientist when it comes to offense, and even defensively with Coach Davis, constantly thinking of different schemes and blitzes and stunts and fronts. It comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. If we block and we tackle this year, we're going to be successful. Those are the two things that I'm going to emphasize, as long as I'm a coach.
Can't argue with that. Well, thank you for spending some time with us today.
Yes.
We'll let you get back to the daily grind, which is the preseason of Kennedy football. Again, you can make sure you go to pioneer-league.com /Kennedy Knights, and you can check out to see what they're doing, keep up with everything that is football related with Kennedy, and also get a rundown of all of the high schools within Kennedy's campus. We're also going to have a couple of campus visits coming up where we get the kids out here to check out the campus, get them in some classrooms to check out, meet some people on the academic end, and we definitely will bring that to you as well. So for the Pioneer Football League, David Patterson and Coach Thierry, we'll see you next time. Absolutely awesome. So, Coach, thank you for spending some time with us. One of our own, Ja'Kai Bedford from the Bronx Steelers. You see I have my college Lafayette jersey here, got accepted to Lafayette College, so congratulations. I'm a little bit biased being class of 02. 5 years ago we took a busload of kids to Easton, Pennsylvania, took a look at the facilities, got a cool session with Coach Tavani, and just 5 years later we have one of our own heading to Lafayette College, so we're definitely ecstatic about that. You see, we fly the Lafayette banner here, and with great pride and what have you. So, absolutely awesome job. So, what else is going on? Bronx Colts minor league football. They had their little banquet reception. They do things a little bit differently. Their banquet was more about business at hand, because with them, their concentration is always on getting that next championship. So Coach Black and Coach Chuck outlined the program for this upcoming season, recognized some guys in terms of MVPs and stuff from last season, which is really cool. And we got to present 2 of the 3, the Bronx Colts, into the Pioneer Football League Hall of Fame, which is Charles Hutchinson, Coach Chuck, Xavier Hamilton, who goes by the name of X, number 7 on the Colts, dynamic quarterback, plus, actually it wasn't quarterback slash wide receiver slash defensive guy, athlete all around. And also Bappa, who was not there, but we will definitely catch up with him and definitely give him his ring and give him a pound back. Well deserved. One of the guys, original Rough Rider guys, who definitely is one of the pillars of everything Pioneer. So, well, that will do it for this week. Pioneer Football League, Pioneer League, I should say, Pioneer League Sports Center. It's a wrap for this week. Stay tuned next week as we get into the MHC Spring Classic format. We got some updates on that, exactly how that's going to run. A ton of football, a lot of, again, being ambassadors of the game in the area, giving guys a chance to get into college, this and that. Awesome thing. The Green Wave schedule has been announced, and we'll go through that in detail with the different schools that they're playing and the different opportunities that they have. So, great job all around. For the Pioneer League, David Patterson, we'll see you next time.